Good game. I thought we, played really well for the most part. I give Dallas a lot of credit. They're really well coached, and they kept coming. They hurt us on the boards, and in transition in that fourth quarter, fortunately, we had some big baskets down the stretch. Especially Alicia, Nia hit some big ones to really kind of keep a little bit of a lead, and we were able to finish it off.
Questions in the defense? Real quick. Any word on Sedina?
No words yet, but I'm sure we'll have a release at some point.
And talk about the play of Alicia. How did she do? And she put up a lot of points. But what were your thoughts on her?
Oh, I thought she played great. I mean, her defense was excellent. She was looking for a shot. She was kind of disappointed with how she played in the last game, and I just loved her mentality going in today. And right from the beginning, she was ready to go.
Coach, what worked well for you guys towards the end of the first half and going into the third quarter?
I just thought we got better shots like the last 5 minutes of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Pace wasn't as good as we wanted at the beginning, but we kind of picked it up, and all of a sudden the last 5 minutes, all of a sudden we're getting easy ones in transition. We were wide open on a couple threes, so we were able to extend the lead there, which I thought was huge, and then to come out of halftime and get them to take a timeout because we had the nice run. Those were probably the two big stretches in the game for us.
Coach, you were able to hold Enrique and Paige 6 of 25 shooting. I think it was late in the third quarter before Enrique even had any points. Can you talk a little bit about the defense of the guards on those two specifically?
Yeah, I mean, our guards were really working defensively to make it tough and, to make it at least, they were good. They were getting some shots, but at least they were contested and off the dribble, higher level of difficulty, not giving them any open ones because they're too good of shooters. But, I mean, Rye she should be an all-defensive team player. Leash was excellent. Maya's come in these games and given us great defense. So, we've been rotating people, on the other team's best players, and hopefully that's something that we can continue, that level of defense on the perimeter.
Coach, you got that.
You guys are
Coach,
so cooperative.
Coach, you mentioned Nia Coffey earlier, but could you just talk about her coming off the bench, her energy, getting the 50-50 balls, shooting beyond the arc, going into the lane, drawing those fouls. Could you just talk about her impact coming off the bench?
Well, I mean, I think in every game she's given us a positive burst every single time when she's gotten in. Obviously, we have two tremendous posts, but when we can bring her in, we're a little bit different. She's a good three-point shooter. She can, penetrate a little bit, but she's defending. I don't know what it is, rebounds per minute, but it seems like, she's in there grabbing the ball with two hands and is in there for every rebound. So she has started the season off fantastic, and really, I would give Naz some credit too. She hasn't got as many minutes. We got to get more minutes for her because when she's gotten in, she's given us a little bit of spark. So for me, it's got to be find a way to kind of work all four of them in a little more. But Bree's got 4 double-doubles in a row, and BG's one of the best players of all time. So it sounds easy, but it's hard to get everybody the minutes that maybe they even deserve at this point.
Coach, when you look at that latter half of that third quarter, is that the way you envision your system going? Like, obviously getting those points to the rim and obviously hitting 3-point shots, because that was a concern there for you.
Yeah, I thought even at the beginning of the fourth, they went on a little run, but offensively, I still thought we got good shots. We just went on a little spell where we missed a few that we would normally make. But the problem was, we had played such great defense, and we kind of stopped getting back, so they're getting easy ones in conversion, and then we're kind of just turning for the rebound, and they're getting extra shots. So we had a little bit of a let up on the defensive end to start the fourth. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have been following the W. These games, people are losing 15-point leads in the last 4 minutes, or 12-point leads in the last 3. Like, teams are so explosive that you really have to finish these games out. People are very capable of coming back on you, and that's just something that we're going to have to learn and grow from.
Coach, I wanted to ask you, kind of going off of Lee's question, you know, about a week into the season, how have you liked the two big lineup of Bree Jones and BG so far?
I think they've been great. You know, they've been competing on the defensive end. Obviously, when teams are smaller and stretch you out and they have to guard in space, you know, what I like to see is they're competing and they're willing to give that a go. And the trade-off is at the other end is usually we have an advantage inside with somebody. But I think they've been really good together. I think we've been good when we've kind of rotated one big. We're still kind of experimenting with some of these lineups to see how it looks against, you know, different configurations from the other team. But so far, I think it's been pretty successful.
Coach, beyond the court, could you just talk about the energy, the fan atmosphere here in Atlanta, and how you've been coming in and getting adjusted to the Atlanta crowd?
Yeah, well, I'm enjoying the crowd. I mean, they're loud. It's you know, there's that energy in the building at all times. Like every time out, there seems to be even more energy. It's like so for me, it's all about trying to block all the stuff that's going on around and kind of just focus on what do we need to address with the team in that short window that we have. Well, some of these timeouts are actually pretty long, but with that window that we have with the team, so they can go back out there and hopefully we can steal a basket here and there.
So, Coach, earlier this week you mentioned that there's not too much time in between each game. Knowing that you guys have a game tomorrow as well, how do you feel about the difference in defense from the home opener game until this game today?
I honestly thought the defense was pretty good in both games. You know, the first game of the year, the defense was not good. I give the players a lot of credit. They took some pride about really trying to lock some people down and really trying to play things correctly. And they've made it tough on some really good players. Now, it takes a lot of effort to play like that. And there's 44 games and there's one tomorrow. So like to get a good night's sleep and come out and be able to compete like that again, that's not easy. So hopefully our players will take that as a challenge and come out again and play with the same intensity defensively they did today.
Coach, what was your message to the team right after the game?
Just I was proud, you know, good job. I love the defensive effort. I love that even when, you know, at the beginning of the fourth quarter didn't start off well, we kept our composure. We kept playing together, and then that kind of settled things down, and we were able to close it out. So I liked how we responded when they made their run on us. We didn't get frazzled. We just locked back into what we were doing.
Coach, what do you like about this team and the fact that, you know, you're down Jordan Canada coming into the, you know, first few games, and then you lose Tahina, and then the team's able to still come out with the win? What does that say about the team?
Well, we have a lot of good players. You know, Tahina's been playing really well, and, you know, we'll find out more about her later, but, you know, we have a lot of really good players, but it's fewer players now. Hopefully we can manage to stay healthy and get through this until we get both of them back. But, you know, no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to put together a game plan, figure out a way to make it work with the players that we have available.
Speaking with Coach, piggyback off that question, what is the game plan to get ready for tomorrow? Such a quick turnaround.
I'll be honest, we were talking it over as assistants, and then we realized that we were leaving the team waiting too long so that they could get their recovery, and that we were leaving you in here too long. So we said we'd talk about it again after the media. But for me, it'll be hard because I like to be really, really prepared for each game, but then there's also the trade-off of, you know, that would affect how much they get to sleep, and this week has already been a really tough week. So the trade-off is how much are you going to be prepared for how much you're going to be rested. And some of this is a little new, so I'm looking for our assistants to give some feedback, and hopefully we'll make a good decision for having the best performance we can.
Awesome. Thank you for your